For the people that are usually watching my posts, they know that I usually have a big old screen and my face on the screen. Well, the green screen is not working and it's still not working. I know people like to see my facial expressions, so I'll try to keep both in the picture somehow. Anyways, we still have things to discuss regardless of if the green screen works or not. This was posted in the dating advice subreddit. And this is the kind of thing that reminds me that some of these men, their loneliness crisis is not crisis enough. Some of these people don't deserve good things at all. So this man says, he's 28. He says, I, 28-year-old man, lost my virginity to a great woman, but I don't know if I want to be with a single mother. I'm already disgusted, but let's finish. He says, I'm a 28-year-old man, and I won't lie. I've wanted a family since I was in my early 20s. I worked hard to secure a good future so I could provide for my kids one day. However, it took me a long time to ever even find a woman who'd have me. I lost my virginity to my girlfriend I'm with. She's 34, back in September, and I've been with her since. She is a single mother of two kids. Before finding her, I've been rejected over 20 times per year since high school ended. So it took quite some time. She's a great person, and her two kids are wonderful kids, so I don't have to worry about any issues in that regard. As far as I know, the real father is out of the picture. I don't know if he'll show up again, but he hasn't tried anything yet, so he might never show up. Recently, she says she really didn't want another kid, meaning I won't be able to have a child with her. I won't lie, this put a damper on things for me, as I want at least one biological kid of my own. She can tell I'm off lately, and I do not know how to proceed. I don't think she's the type that would give a second chance, so I'm torn. I think I can fall in love with this woman. She seems like the girl of my dreams, but I'm questioning everything because of my desire for a biological kid. The reason I'm irritated with this man is because he's been with her since September, October, November, December, January. So for about 4 months. And in that time, before he used her to lose his virginity, because she was perfectly okay to do that, she was perfectly fine to use for her body to get to a point of finally losing her virginity. But now she's not good enough. They didn't have these conversations before about him wanting a kid and her not being good enough because she was a single mother. She was a single mother when he was banging her and losing her virginity. I mean, losing his virginity. That was perfectly fine because she was like practice or something. But now it's like, okay, 4 months later, 4 months. And it's like, it's clicking in that, oh my God, she is a single mother. Did he not have this conversation that he wanted kids before now, or was he just so blinded by the urge to get some because he's been rejected 20 times a year since high school? I think that he got him a little something, something, and now he's feeling himself a little bit too much. And once, like he said, once she's gone, he's not going to be able to spin the block. He won't be able to. So he's trying to decide, am I going to have some success out there in the real world where women are going to see me and know that I'm a loser? Or is she going to just, or should I just stay with her? He's going to be resentful because he's thinking he can do better for some reason. But then once she gets a whiff of the fact that he thinks that he's settling, she's going to be done with him anyway. Anyways, and to that, I was like, this is why men will remain in their loneliness crisis and deservedly so. Just, I made a mistake. It says bands, but I meant to say and. They create this whole world for themselves. They walk away from women that are perfectly supportive people. Like this man didn't know that this woman had two kids before he finally got a chance to get him some peaches. That's the reason why, I have so little empathy for these people because they leave folks alone when they're not good enough. So live in it. Okay, so key order says to me, it sounds like you're with her not because you love and see her as a life partner, but because you want to get laid and you know you can't get better. You've been with her for 5 months and you think you might fall in love with her one day. You would have known at this point. Either you stay and resent her for the rest of your life or you leave. The sooner the better so those babies don't get attached too hard. Monkey Move says exactly. He lost his virginity to her and he's had so many rejections, but he doesn't want to be with a single mom. It sounds like he was just there because he hasn't been rejected yet and it's the best he can get. This person, Botfly, says, I don't think there's enough information to state emphatically that this is true. Love is a choice, attraction is it. He's attracted to her and has sex with her, and he said that he thinks he can fall in love with her, which is a choice he's debating right now. He really needs to talk to her about how he's having strong biological drive to have his own baby that shares his genes. It's a discussion that they need to have. It's very understandable that she would reject him after the trauma of breaking up with her previous baby daddy and being left to raise two kids. What if he leaves as well? She doesn't know if he'll stay and if she has another baby by him, that's another 18-year commitment with no help. We don't know that she's had any trauma. Just because people break up doesn't mean that there's trauma. But the thing is, once he does need to communicate to this woman, he does need to communicate with her. But they know that once they communicate that they're feeling some type of way, like, babe, I'm feeling some type of way. I want to have kids and you're a single mother. Obviously that puts the ball in her court because relationships, both have to choose to be with each other. So she'll be like, okay, bet you need to go find your person. She needs to be able to say that too. But men like this don't want to communicate because they don't want to give women free choice. They want to be the only ones that are choosing to stay or leave. That's the reason why they lie and manipulate or lie by omission. Okay, technician says you would have to decide whether your desire for your own biological child is greater than your love for this person and or if your love is greater than your desire for a bio child. Also, maybe the two of you could attend counseling together. Attending counseling would mean that he would, number one, need to communicate that he's having these feelings. And it doesn't seem like he wants to because he knows that he can't really get that good out there. And she is good enough for right now, or good enough for her to like give up her body, but not to actually be with. So he's going to, in order to do counseling, you have to be honest with yourself and with the other person. He's not at that point. So this person says very good advice. I don't really think this is very good advice because it's not reasonable because I don't think that he would take this advice. Harry Keo at the bottom says, you were becoming desperate for your first sexual encounter. Now that that's over, you need to find someone else who is able to mother your natural child if that's what you want. Ill. It really just like how people are so crass with, okay, cool. You've used her body. You got that out the way. Whew. Now let's go find your real life partner. And Opal Turtle says to that person, yeah, it's kind of shady. OP used her to lose his virginity. That's where I am with that. All right, so lively vibes. This will be the last one. It's just sex. Just because you have sex with somebody doesn't mean you have to commit to them. LOL. That being said, all you have to do is work on yourself and put yourself out there. You know what sex is like, so you can start focusing on more important things because virgins have a tendency to put sex on this higher pedestal than it should be, since sex is not that big of a deal. That being said, the fact that you've been rejected about 20 to 40 times is essentially 10 years since most men start dating at 18. Shows me that you haven't even tried dating. Dating is a numbers game. Literally, the more women you approach, the more opportunities you have to meet single available women. That's essentially what dating is. The more you approach, the more dates you get. And of course, the more often you'll get rejected. But that's just part of dating. 90% of the time, you're going to get rejected for reasons that have nothing to do with you. We've all been through situations in our life where we were emotionally unavailable for relationships. And it had nothing to do with the other person. So don't make rejection about you. It's more likely than not. And honestly, don't settle for someone you don't want because that's not only fair. I'm sorry, it's not only fair for you, but you're cheating them out of the opportunity to meet someone who truly cares about them and wants to be with them for genuine reasons, not just lack of sex in their life. I get it. You're probably lonely, but that's part of being an adult. Learn how to deal with it, and you'll start to attract the right type of women that you want in your life. I honestly don't think the loneliness crisis is making them lonely enough. Like, comment,